What's going on, guys? I am Jacemachine. We are playing StarMade today on the Squadron survival server. I got some stuff to show you today. I am standing on the back of a new ship that I have sort of roughly put together. This is, I'll just show you from inside the build block. That's probably the best way to do it. Now you guys are probably thinking, oh, that looks like a Corellian Corvette, also known as a blockade runner. Yeah, I know what that is. But you guys would be wrong, because this is way too small to be a blockade runner. What this is, also take a look at the nose, you know, the cockpit, not a blockade runner cockpit. Now, what this is actually based on the early prototypes of the Millennium Falcon. And I happen to be a fan of this particular style, the quote-unquote Corellian style builds, so I felt that I could use like the same hatchways. I could just reuse the cockpit, literally just copy and paste it. So let's take a look through here real quick. This is based on various designs and props and sketches that I found on the interwebs. We got our core back here, of course. This is sort of the lounge. Right here, you can see that the couch idea has been carried over. This is an invention of my own right here. These guys are escape passage. So let's hop out of the build block real quick. We're gonna go over here. I'm gonna show you how this is sort of works. I'm still working on the design basically, but you step up here, you stand under here, you press this button. And in space, you would be ejected out into the cold blackness of space. Hope you have your helmet. So, that's exciting. Put a gravity block on the roof because of the fact that it is a pain to get back into the gravity once you get back down here. And then, of course, we have this radar dish. It's just spinning away. We're going to just go right back down into this tube here. I'm going to set it up so that the hatch is shut after you've been ejected. So let's go take a look at the radar dish. The radar dish is spinning right up there. And right down here, we have the mechanism that drives it. With crap thrown on it for no good reason, right? But it's just a core. It's got a docking block, also known as a magnetic block. It's attached to a rotating turret docker. Or it's not a rotating turret docker, but it allows the turret to rotate. And then what I did is I built a pole of blocks up and out of the ship where I put together the dish, and then I deleted the blocks in between. That's how that's done. It's pretty easy. Also, this is just bare bones. You know, it's just gray hull. I don't have the... What don't I have? I don't have any components. There's no shields, no weapons. Barely has enough thrust to get out of the atmosphere. And that is sadly also the same situation with this other new little ship that I created. So we have this guy docked over here. I'm just going to hop into the ship, check out the build block for you. We'll take a look at it. As you can see, it's docked up right here. And it is a heavy weapons fighter, basically. It's supposed to be. We're going to have various guns and stuff. We have dummy turrets set up here. That's what this weird key-looking thing is on both sides. Those are going to be, I don't know, some sort of turret, perhaps point defense turrets. There was a turret on here. So let me tell you what happened. I was trying to dock here. I was having problems because this ship, again, only has... Well, it doesn't have any damn systems in it. Look, see, it's got power, but it doesn't have a whole lot of thrust, and it definitely doesn't have the ability to ignore gravity once you're in planetary atmosphere. So, that was hard to dock, and I ended up... The ship rolled and rolled over to Fuse's plate. It somehow crashed over here. Oh, that is awesome. I like your lighthouse, Fuse. It's crazy. It's wonderful. But my ship crashed. It rolled. It found its way onto Fuse's plate, and it landed upside down. And what that did was that it actually shoved the turret into the ship itself. So I'm sitting here in the ship. I pop back out, and the turret is blocking off this entire back. So I'm glad that I have installed doors in the sides here, so I was able to escape and get into the build blocks and yada yada, and we fixed it. So yay! So that's it. We got the 2 new ships added. They're still works in progress. A lot of my ships always end up being works in progress. This guy, for example, no weapons, right? We just have placeholder stuff. This is the only one that's even remotely capable of fighting. And last episode we put the 2 turrets on, the bottom and the top, so we'll have to give that a shot sometime and see how it works. We're also going to need to replace our gold pyramid one of these days. So let's get started on the new project. I want to show you what I've been working on. With the new Rails update, I thought, hey, I should put something that will easily allow me to get from my salvager ship up to here. So that's what I am working on here. And I'm sad to say that it is severely broken. Alright, but that's what we're going to be working on today. So I'm going to hop back into the build block, and we're going to get going. Now, I was having problems because these rails weren't set up to work right. But basically, the idea is that you have this platform that is attached to here, and it goes up and down. And now, as you can see, it is currently down. See if we can recall this here. I'm going to push a button, and it's going to change everything. And then it's going to break. That's the problem here. Basically, it's a conceptual issue. You got to sort of think through your processes. This is the return button. Yeah, that's not sad or anything, is it? Let's send it back down. Can we do such a thing? Let's do that. So that's going back down, and it's not going to marry up to this because it wants to go straight through. You have to have another block right below it if you want to make that work. Let me work on some of this wiring, and I will check back with you here in a moment to show you what I ended up doing. Really, before I want to get involved with that, I gotta get this fixed. So we're going to try to fix this, get it rotated properly, oriented, and whatnot. You're not going the right way. Let's push the proper button. That was not the proper button. Oh, apparently I did manage to hit the proper button, and we got that rotating properly there as I expected. Okay, this is good. We got the cart where I need it. This is the start position. We're going to change this out. We do not want any rotation in our cart. We can do this entirely with rails. Alright, so this is to go away, right? Or is this incoming? This is to go away. And this comes back. Have to remember that is away and that is back. I could put a sign here, and I probably should in the future, but we're going to worry about that here later. I'm going to pull all of this stuff out because I have previously screwed this up. I would like to reorganize what I've done on both sides, because here we have the other platform. We're going to pull all of this out. We're going to do this the proper way. Of course, I probably didn't need to move those buttons, so let's just throw these buttons back here. So we got this here. This is nice. It's set up. We want it to go that way, so we're going to need to make this button here sign up with a make sure we're... Basically, when you put these rails next to a button, it assigns that button to that direction. So if I push that button, any rails that are assigned will face this way. So we got that. And when I press this button, any rails that are attached will go that direction. So let's first select that with the C. And as you can see, this whole top part is already attached, and this second part as well is also already attached. I need this also to be part of that line, and that should go all the way to the edge unbroken. Alright, so the idea now is that when I press this button, everything will go that way. So let's focus on this second button now. Let's unselect that. I'm going to select this one instead. And this needs everything to come back the other way. That's what this button does. So now we have it facing this way. We're going to attach it right there. And we need to focus on that. And those are the returning blocks, right? The blocks that are supposed to be facing in this direction. And we also want this block to be part of that. Nope. Oops. So we're going to select that. We're going to highlight that. And we need this whole rail to be a part of that as well. So let's go ahead and hit Control and V. No, it's Shift V, right? Yep, Shift V will do the whole attached group. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to make sure we're working on the one direction first. We're going to select this one more time, and now I'm going to... making sure I have the right button in place here. Let's put that there like that and like that, right? So that is attached to that. And when this button gets pressed, it's going to trigger this button, and whatever is attached to this button will also be triggered. So this top button here is going to send all the rails this way. And I need this next one to indicate a downward direction. Like thus. So we're going to put that there. And I think I just screwed that up, and I'll tell you why. We're going to erase that real quick. When you're doing these, you want to make sure that the buttons you're pressing are specifically handling the certain things, and I don't want that to be interfering. So we want to select that, and then we're going to place that. I'm going to reselect, or at least make sure that that's the place, and we did it going down. So this is going to be going down, as well as this whole line, with the exception of that bottom. Alright, now if I've done everything correctly, when this button is pressed, everything will align to go the proper direction. Now I did not connect it to down here, because that should be connected already to that, right? So now let's do the second one. The second one is sending everything back towards, and so what we need is that to be just fine, this to be just fine. Let's push this button real quick. I just want to see what happens here. Okay, that's good. That's proper. Okay, this is going to work. This is going to work for a return trip. Now we can make this faster by putting speed enhancers onto this. This is not working. Oh, I see. I missed something here. Yep. How did that not get fixed? Not sure what happened there. Let's go check our wiring again. That was connected to this part. So we're going to again select that. And I want to see why that wasn't there. Because that was probably just missed. So we're going to double check. Damn it. It's so obnoxious when I hit that button. Okay, so. And that'll go all the way to the end. And stop. So we did that properly. Now let's go back to our original one here. We're going to select that one here. We need to put down a second button, which we're just going to stick right next to this. Okay, and then we're going to select that. And we want this to send everything downwards. No, we want this to send everything upwards. Correct, okay. So let's get our rail in place. We're going to find out what direction we're using here. So this is going up, if I'm not mistaken, right? Let's just put that right there. Compare the facing. Yep, that is correct. So that block needs to control this all the way down to this block. Alright, so that should be set up properly. Let's double check this first one here. And this second one here. Okay, that is correct. This one will be facing that way. Alright, only thing we can do right now is to test it. Alright, so that's the send button. The second one is the call button. Let us call the elevator back. Alright, what happened here? Where did this thing break and why? Because this is going upwards like this, and it's supposed to be going that way. Dagnabbit. Okay, so let's focus on taking that one block out of the control of this here. So I'm going to remove that, and I believe it needs to be attached to this one here. Correct. And it is. Alright, so let's call this back again. And it worked perfectly that time. Fantastic! Okay, one more time, let's send it away. Awesome! We have successfully set up the both directional controls for this here. So, the next thing for us to do is do it all over again. So my friends, let's see if this will work for us. Yes. Yes. Oh, it's gonna work. We got it. We got it. Yeah, baby. We got it. Awesome. Alrighty, guys. I am going to call it here for today's episode. I appreciate you watching. I hope that you learned something new, because I know that I definitely did. Rails, man, there's so much to learn about Rails, so much that can be done with Rails, and we have not even scratched the surface. So this was a great starter project for me. I'm really pleased to have gotten it working right. I know that I drew a lot of different things out on paper, just so that I can get the logic correct and straight in my head. You know, arrows and labels and things like that. It's a little harder to put it together. Well, for me at least, it's a little harder to put it together in game without thinking it through first. But that's how I do all of my stuff, all of my ships and everything. For example, this thing was drawn out on paper. Everything. I always do it on graph paper. So it just helps me get my thoughts in order, helps me put things down the right way the first time. I put those rails down without doing it on paper first, and, well, you saw how I started off with it today. It was not working. So, that being said, guys, thank you so much, and I will see you next time.